this, that, and the other thing, and then I brought that with me. That was the next piece. Have it with you.
Right. You got to keep.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
I'll go. Let's say I was doing fuel system. Like, okay, I'll even write on there, because I break it down. Fuel lines attached. Okay, the fuel tank's in, but it's not wired, and I'll cross something off, but I'll make the addendum. Wires not hooked up or something, or this will start fire, have fun, or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's what I had to. I was working at someone at a shop, so I left a note for the shop owner taped to the steering wheel. This is what I did. This is what may need to be done. This is what has to be done before you take this car out. So now everybody's on the same page of no surprises here.
Oh yeah, I do that in the shop all the time. Like I hang those on the steering wheel, like tape it over the key. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like you can't even try to start the car. It's like make sure this gets done or whatever. Like Danger Will Robinson.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Have you guys ever heard of was it NICOP fuel and brake lines?
I've used Nicocel, which is high nickel.
Nickel and copper. Yeah, it's more bendable than your typical steel brake line. Yeah,
it's pretty common. I think the trade name is called.
Came into it.
I think the trade name is called Bendaflex. It looks coppery in color. I bought a roll of it, and let me tell you something. You could bend it around a pen, if you want to make a tight bend. Yeah.
That's why a friend of mine is a metal guy, and he told me all about it. And yeah, it's stronger than steel, but it's weaker than stainless.
Yeah.
But it has the bendability of like a noodle.
Right.
It's great stuff.
He said, my car's not correct in any way, so I have 2 big rolls of that I'll be running my entire fuel system with, and I'm really excited. I played around with I cut a little piece off and played with it, and you're absolutely right. It's like you can wrap it around a pencil and it won't kink, which was amazing.
No, I used it in my car for brake lines. It's easy to flare because and that's the thing, because it's softer, unlike stainless, which is very hard and brittle. The metallurgical properties are totally different. This stuff will flex and bend where stainless will crack.
On the other hand, stainless, you pretty much, it's like, I have to pump this up before I bend it.
Right.
You got to bend it around. You can bend it around like trees and stuff. That's about it. If you try to do anything tight. I mean, stainless is really cool.
Because it's nickel copper, it won't ever corrode or break down within reason.
Right.
I mean, so it should last more than us.
Does within reason mean like someplace like where they don't use like salt, like maybe? Because you're from the Midwest, are you not?
Oh yeah, I'm Chicago born and raised.
Okay, so you guys got salt. I know we got salt. So as far as that goes, I think anything corrodes, but.
Right.
Well, just think of a copper penny. I mean, nickel doesn't really corrode; it just tarnishes in reality.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
So
the only thing that we'd have issues with is the fittings, like the brass fittings, but those should be fine. So, in theory, it should last an insanely long time.
I'll tell you something, because I did this with Bronk had called years ago. He was saying about putting pennies on a battery because of the copper, and I said
the sacrificial animal.
I looked it up and found out, I don't remember what the percentage is, but there's so little copper in a penny now, it's mostly nickel.
Right.
Yep. So there's copper nickel right there. I mean, you can't bend a penny, but it's that's why you don't have those the corrosion.
But a penny isn't nickel copper like combination. It's copper, or it's nickel in the center with a copper coating.
I guess I never cut one in half.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Yeah,
that's why if you look at a quarter or a nickel or something like that.
Oh, you can
look
see
at the side. You can actually see the sandwich of
right.
The different stuff.
Materials,
a quarter, a quarter, yes. Correct. You are correct.
That's always interesting to see. I love that kind of weird minutia. Like, they're trying to, a penny is worth more than a penny's
to
worth
make it,
now because of the money. But they haven't been able to find a material, because all the coins have to weigh the same, because all the machines are, tuned for weight, the pop machines. So they haven't found a material that's the same. They can make the penny the same weight. It's really weird.
Yeah. Ryan, can you hold on with us for a minute while we take our last break?
Sure, by all means.
All right, hang on. You're listening to Motormouth Radio with your host, Ray Guarino, Joe D., and Ryan Brutt on the phone. Hang on. We're going to take a quick break and pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Hey, you in the car. Yeah, you're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation. Come on, I know you're looking for some feel-good music, so just keep your radio right here for the Sly Stone Show. And you might want to think about cleaning up your car before we start. This thing is nasty. Oh, back to what's important. It's the Sly Stone Show every Friday afternoon at 3 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
All right, I think I want to wait a few more hours before sundown comes, but regardless, we'll thank the Outlaws.
Quit pushing it. Time goes fast enough, all right?
I know. Ryan, you are still with us, I hope.
Indeed, gentlemen.
All righty. We left off with Cooper Nickel brake lines. What else is in line for that project?
Well, I've actually been able to source a Hotchkiss suspension on it, basically.
Nice.
I'm going to do some real trick steering stuff through, like, Firm Feel, who's a big Mopar suspension guy company. So it should be a well-handling, rounded car. It's not going to be a bruiser. I basically wanted to replace my 09 Challenger, which I, drive all across the country.
Yeah. Because
that thing has 164,000 miles on it.
God bless.
And I'm worried that electrical things are going to start going bad on this when I'm, 1,000 miles from home.
Yeah.
At least with the old Mopar, I know enough that I can, fix a rear end, a bearing goes bad, or, I could throw a carburetor on there if I had to.
Right.
Yeah, you could smack it around a little bit. You could join some wires, but
let me ask
unless you got a scan tool in your thumb there, it's not happening.
Let me ask you this, because this is sounding awful familiar. Have you been hanging out with Alana Sher lately for any reason?
Yeah, I just saw her last night. We were at Roadkill Nights.
The darling of Dodge, as we call her. Alana's a good friend of the show, and whenever I hear people talking about Mopars as daily drivers, I always think about Alana with her giant land yacht that she only augments by keeping the Opel in the trunk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Alana's a great people. Oh, you guys
also have they have a Ford tow truck too.
I know. We were talking about that when they first got that project many years ago, and so you guys must have some great conversations.
Indeed. Especially her. She just finished putting a new engine in her 70 Challenger, and that car was actually used in Top Gear USA in the very first season. But It was one of the first cars with the Hotchkiss suspension, and she did a whole bunch of the trick stuff that's going in my car. So we talk quite a bit about Mopars when we're in proximity to each other.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, that's what you do. Like people, That's like what I do. The Pontiac that I've restored and drive, it handles a certain way. And whenever I get my friend Kevin's GTO, I say, "Oh God, your car is so quiet, soft, and compliant." And mine is just the opposite. I'm like, and there's a place for everything in the hobby. So, and you can't have it all in one. You can't really have it all in one car. You have to kind of devote yourself to how you're going to build.
It's pretty tough to get, especially without the wonders of electronics and some of the high-tech materials and stuff.
Right.
Like the Challenge
Absolutely.
The Challenge is a good compromise, right? But it's complicated.
I can, like you said, with enough zip ties and duct tape and a big enough hammer, within reason, I can fix almost anything on that car. Mm-hmm. Like with my Challenger, the new one right now, the push-button start quit working like 5 years ago. And there's a little module behind the dash.
The wind module.
The only thing it did was activate when the key was nearby.
Right.
Just to replace that one module, the only thing it did was make the push-button start work, $800.
Yeah, it's the wireless integration node, the wind module. Yep.
With mine, all I had to do was pop out the button, and I could use my key fob as a key.
Right.
And so it's like $800, but that was the start. I'm worried about, coils going bad, and there's 8 of them on the engine.
Right.
It's been stone. Other than that, there's been no problems with my new Challenger.
You take care of it,
It's been a wonderful cruiser, and I've beat that thing well beyond what it should have taken.
Well, now
it's been wonderful.
You've totally jinxed yourself because you're talking nice about it. You should never, ever talk nice about a car.
Well, the other way of looking at it, too, though, is that's basically a two-door Charger,
right?
Which is the cop car, a cop car staple.
Yeah.
And those things hold up pretty good. Right, Chris, if you're out there listening?
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, a friend of mine was one of the head guys at Dodge who did the cop car program, and he told me all the little nicks and tricks and, oil coolers. And he's like, other than they had a braking issue in that era, which mine doesn't have because it's a different braking setup,
right.
They're reliable. I mean, you can buy them now even for, they're like $10,000 even used with 100,000 miles.
Right.
Old cop cars. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is quite a they do have, the cop cars do have quite a following.
Yeah, Mikey Jr. just bought that.
The Crown Vic,
which is having all sorts of evap problems and
all kinds of goofiness
stuff.
Yeah. Well, just think that Panther platform is what, 40 years, 30 years old. Didn't it originate like 79?
That current Panther platform goes back to about 1990.
It was like
mid
to late 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but the one that basic body style. I mean, they updated it a couple times, but you're right. It does go back a couple. It goes into the previous century. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The basic platform does. There've been modifications along the way. Right.
Right.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Well,
speaking of Pontiacs, did you see the video I posted a little while back on my Facebook and Instagram of the '68 GTO I found in a garage that was completely buried? I mean, inside, outside, just utterly buried with a pair of Super Duty 421 exhaust manifolds on those.
Oh, wow.
Super Duty.
Wow. No, I didn't see. Joe's looking for that now. But
I just went to Facebook now. Yeah.
I know, Ryan, you find all that stuff. It's amazing. Like, we see things at the cruise nights. There'll be a car that's obviously been just taken out of a garage from years, and you can see it just has, cap, wires, carburetor, just the stuff, maybe some brake lines, just the things needed to get it to run somewhat safely, and the guy's going to go out and campaign it. And you always smile because you say, wow, this car's been under a roof, hopefully, or just somewhere for many years, and no one ever saw it, and here it is again. It's a good thing to see.
Absolutely. And you're seeing that more and more nowadays with the older owners. Unfortunately, they're passing away or selling their cars. And, here, the guy bought a Charger out of a junkyard, got it running and driving. Here he is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing it more and more. And it's phenomenal. Like that GTO that I saw that was buried, it was put away as a running, driving car. It only had a brake issue. So he was going to fix it, and it's been sitting for, 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's like a brown color. Yeah, I see with the pool toys and the...
Yeah.
That looks like GM parts bins hanging off it there.
That's one of my pet peeves when I read on eBay or one of the car ads where it says, ran when parked. Yeah, no fooling. Yeah, but that was 40 years ago.
Yeah, Moses parked it for me. Yeah,
right. Moses, he parted the garbage in the garage. We parked it, and it just kind of fell in. It's like,
exactly,
whatever.
Exactly, but in theory, if it was put away running, it won't take that much to get it running and driving again.
Theoretically, unless
theoretically, at least nothing like kind of separated, shattered, exploded, burned,
I think of
absolutely.
I think of upper cylinder rust, things like that. Valves. I've seen cars where valves were like rusted open.
Oh yeah,
valve springs fatigue from being compressed.
Had that with that sedan delivery I was working on there.
Absolutely, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, Super Duty. Look at the manifolds.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, but absolutely. But I've worked on enough that, you let it soak in some Marvel and Mystery oil for a few days. You do an oil change,
Yeah.
You play around with it a little bit, go through it. And I've brought a few cars that have been sitting for 30, 40 years back to life without much hassle.
You start easy and you hope that the rope remain seal didn't turn into pafoof.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dust. Is that a technical term, pafoof?
It is, yeah. So... That's it. Well, Ryan, listen, we got to run. We're getting towards the end of our show, but we have to thank you for calling in again and cluing us in into all the cool stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
And
no problem, guys. I appreciate being on the show, and I hope to be on again here in the near future.
Absolutely. We'll keep in touch. Don't feel shy about keeping in touch with us. Sometimes, I get busy with, trying to scout guests from all over, but, keep us in your radar, too, and send me an email once in a while and let me know you got something. And
we'll never know what you're going to find, what's going on here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's true. I keep up with you guys, and you guys have had a lot of really interesting guests, and I've been happy to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you, Ryan.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well,
all right, guys. Well, then be safe.
Enjoy the show. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Ryan Brutt, the auto archaeologist from Hot Rod Magazine. Joe, I just got to say, on the 17th, this coming Thursday, is the anniversary of when Charles Kettering got the patent for the electric starter motor in 1915. So we owe him a debt.
Yeah, that and the hammer to smack it when it don't work.
Absolutely. But I tell you what, the hammer's going to go away now because we got to leave.
The
Rob's
clock
behind
has
us.
got the teeth are coming out of the clock. Yep.
We'll be back next week. Motormouth Radio, Ray and Joe.
Stay out of trouble, will you please?
Come back and check us then, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
So long.